Yeah, your hair is not going to look like other people's. You may agree on a certain thing, maintaining a certain style, but your hair does not agree that this is good for me. Like it feels like it almost has its own personality. So understanding what can we neutrally agree on. And then loving that, because locks aren't for everybody. Everybody doesn't like the look of locks. Okay, if locks isn't the thing that you like, what is something that is going to be healthy for you and healthy for your hair and healthy for your mind? Self-love.
Tell me about why you started the lock journey. Like what got you there?
Okay, so COVID, like when COVID hit, like I started wearing my hair out natural because like the world shut down. And so I was like, you know what? This is my chance to embrace me, because I noticed a lot of things that I would be way more comfortable in weave and way more comfortable with things that were just not my hair. And whenever I took it out, I would be like, man, I feel ugly. Like, I feel like this isn't good enough. Like my hair isn't good enough. And so when the world shut down, I was like, I don't really have an excuse anymore not to be comfortable with me. And so I went ahead and started like researching. I just started researching about, how to, because my main frustration with my natural hair was like my mom's is different. There was nothing I could gauge off of. Like all of my sisters had different types. They had different, I couldn't compare with anybody, but to only start my own journey. And I feel like that's what a lot of Black women have to figure out. So I went through a lot of products trying to figure out, and I just noticed the expense of keeping loose natural hair was so expensive. When I say I was doing like clay mask, I was doing like all natural products, moisturizers, everything you can name. I was just loading it up and trial and error. And I was like, man, why am I spending this much money on product just to let my hair not like, because my hair, like when I would wear it out, it was hard to keep it moisturized and to keep it like at a state that I wanted, because I wanted a certain look to it. But it started thriving when I put all this stuff in it. But I was just like, why do I have to do all of this? And so I started researching, and I actually started doing like mini braids in my hair a lot. And I noticed that was a style that my hair loved, because it was a lot of trial and error. Because if I did anything, like literally, when I was loose natural, I started to stay away from combs and brushes, because it was just stuff like that. Like that was just, I noticed my hair is so like fine. And so I started like finger detangling and stuff like that, and just doing minimal things. And that really helped my hair. So, but I noticed the best results when I had mini braids. And I was like, okay, well, let me just research about locks now, because obviously my hair loves this more than any other thing.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it, because I was like, you know what? And I started like embracing it. I was like, this really feels like me. Like this style specifically feels like me, and this takes the least amount of effort. Like I just have to do it. And then I started just doing it, getting comfortable with it, and taking it out and just washing my hair, and then doing it for comfortable and taking it out, and still researching about locks, because I've always liked the smaller locks, not the bigger locks, but the smaller locks specifically for me. Because they're so versatile, and then you get to wash your hair like every week. And along with like bigger locks, you can't really wash them that frequently. Because I don't really know why, but that's what I researched. You don't really wash them that frequently, but with mini locks you can, and there's just more styles you can do with them. And from far away, it looks like it's just your hair,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like the versatile look of it. So I started watching YouTube influencers a lot, and just researching and seeing that people were doing it themselves. And I was like, because I don't like people touching my hair. No, I don't know. It's a weird thing about me. It's a weird thing. But so if anything, I just want to do it for myself. Like, so I just learned how to, and it saved money too, but I learned how to do it myself. And it's not perfect by any means, but it works and I love it. Yeah.
So talk more about what you noticed happening with your hair when you were like, my hair loves this. Like, what was it that you were seeing or feeling even when your hair was loving the braids?
It started growing more. It started to just feel better too. Like it's I don't know, like the feeling that the texture of it, it started to even like get more defined curls and stuff like that. So I just noticed like my hair was just getting better when I left it alone. Yeah. Like I noticed that like it because I've tried everything. Yeah. I've literally tried everything.
So you knew what to compare it to.
Yes. And even when I was like doing wigs and stuff, it was like my hair wasn't growing, even though I was wearing a protective style. Yeah. And I was like, that's so weird. It really wasn't growing like that. So I don't know if air has something to do. I don't know. I don't know what it has to do with it, but I tried when in middle school, we tried curls. Before I was natural, I tried perm. That my hair didn't like that at all. When I say my hair broke off like this, okay, like it started a little bit, it was like it was doing a little bit good, and then as the process continued, it just kept getting shorter and shorter every single year. And I was like, this ain't working. And so me and my mom decided to move to curls, to the curl, and
that curl, what kind of curl are you talking about?
Like where you have to use activator and it curls up your hair and all that. So that type of thing. So it's still processing, it's still chemicals. And so that actually grew my hair, but as soon as I stopped, it down to here again. Okay.
So your hair was very dependent on that.
Yes. And I don't know, we just stopped because I just didn't like the fact that it, the curl is just real juicy and you just walk around and you get juice on you. just real juicy.
Yes.
and the chemicals too, because my mom started learning about like around that time, chemicals and how they affect, you and how they affect your hair and all that type of stuff. So we tried to move completely natural and with just, so I would do sew-ins a lot, and I would do braids a lot and wigs and stuff like that. And every now and again I wear my hair out, but I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that when I was around there until recently. But yeah, I've tried many different things. I know, like, definitely I started to, also the other thing that I noticed why my hair liked it, I started to get my edges back too. Like when I started to do that as well, because I noticed like a lot of my protective styles, I guess, would be too tight maybe on my edges, and so it's been trial and error. It's been for real.
So then tell me about, so you said that before COVID, you would have your hair in whatever styles, weaves or whatever. And then, but you didn't really want to wear your hair natural because of kind of the comparison, it sounds like. Like, because you didn't tell me what, if there is any fear or any like what doubts or thoughts that you were having in that space where you were like, I'm good on the natural. Cause
Well, one, it wouldn't stay straight. It wouldn't stay the way I viewed beauty was. Like it, and then I would compare it to other people's natural hair. Like I really wanted like curls and stuff. I tried to do the Bantu knots.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I tried to do so many things. And I just noticed that my standard of beauty didn't work with my hair. And I'm like, okay, so how can I view my hair as beautiful? And how can I embrace my hair as beautiful, not looking at everybody else's and figuring out and even during my lock journey, like I wanted to cut my hair. I wanted to shave my hair about a lot. I was like, I'm gonna shave it. And then the next day I was like, no. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna cut it off. And the next day I was like, okay, it looks all right today. But natural hair is like that. It's just that even with locks, it'll look one day one way and then the next day another way. And then I feel like that's the other thing that would really have me irritated, because when I first did my hair, like that was a whole different style from what I did.
Yeah.
And so that part was really irritating to me, to understand how to embrace that part of it too. That it's very almost fluid. It changes a lot. And I feel like embracing it as a part of me has been a journey. And now I got to that point as this is a part of me and I have to love this part of me. I know, just statements in the past that people have made, before like going natural. Because I remember in high school, I was trying to do mini braids, right? And I had people come up to me. I was like, oh, that looks homely. That doesn't look good. Like stuff like that. So it was like really discouraging. So you can have that ingrained in your mind that my natural hair looks just horrible. I don't look as beautiful. And that is completely beyond the truth. I feel like there's been a lot of influence with media, a lot of influence with just people around me that have now embraced natural. But like I think it's a whole system that we have to grow and learn how to love each other. Yeah. And we're getting there, and I feel like we're getting there. I feel like we are.
Yes.
Because you see a lot more people, on the news, in politics, wearing natural hair. And it's so exciting, because it's like our hair, because it's so different, I feel like you can't gauge it off of anybody else. And that's what makes it so unique. It makes it so unique. But also, sometimes uniqueness can be scary, because not everybody wants to stick out. Like not everybody wants to stick out. I always think about the perception of being the only girl walking in with an afro and feeling like people are comparing me to a revolutionary or something like that, because that's how I feel. Like that's the stigma. I feel like it's tied to that. It's the perception of you is that you're gonna be unruly or something. Like but it may be all made up in our mind too. Yeah, but
it came from somewhere and it spread.
yes, it did spread. It did spread. I'm just grateful that people are now embracing it as like a whole, because for our community to embrace it is amazing. And it hasn't been like that for a long time. Like, you got the same hair as me, but you're going to talk about my hair and my process. It's just, and it was just spewing more and more like narrative and hatred against ourselves as a community. It's like they would box in, this is what your hair has to look like if it's natural. And if it doesn't look like this,
Yeah.
then you need to do something else with it. You need to cover it up. You need to, you need to fix it.
Right.
You need almost like a control type of thing that I feel in the Black community. Yeah.
So do you feel like that was kind of a side effect of the natural hair movement? Or do you feel like it was just a surfacing of things that were already there that we're trying to break through with this natural hair movement?
I believe it was already there. I believe it was already there. And I say that because if you just look at the generations like before that, like you can see, and I don't know what happened in between like the civil rights movement where they were like Black empowerment, my Black is beautiful, talking about natural hair and people wearing their natural hair, into going into the 2000s and perms were everything. I don't I don't I don't know what happened with that, but I feel that it's really been, that's something I would have to like research and figure out, but figure out like what happened between that stage. But I feel that perms had a real thing to do with it when the rise of perms happened. And even like hot combs, we used hot combs before that. So we were already trying to condition our hair to be straight. And I'm not talking about anybody who wants to wear it, because I know my journey, being natural is kind of different than other people's, because other people can feel confident and feel themselves and feel still love their natural hair, but still have perms, still do wear weaves and stuff like that. So I'm not even like dissing the people that can do that, but I know I had to step away from all of that to embrace myself fully. But I just saw a correlation between, I guess controlling, and you could even say money had to do with it too. I feel like consumerism and money, because whose idea is it that we have to look like this? Like, and that's a lot of research too, that you would have to go in and research where did and really go back and track like the history of Black hair to understand like what is really happening. I believe definitely slavery had to do with some roots from slavery, where we had to cover our hair, where we couldn't wear braids, where all this other stuff, and just being in a culture where it's predominantly a certain way, like it's predominantly white, and you walk in and you have natural hair and you look different. I feel like I don't know. I don't want to speak for other cultures either, because I don't know how they feel about our hair. Now that would be interesting. Like talking with other cultures, what was your viewpoint? What did you get taught by natural hair? Did you get taught anything? Like what was your first experience when you seen natural hair? That would be an interesting talk with somebody. But yeah, I don't really know where it stemmed from. I think many things evolved our thinking into this like cultural norm of thinking a certain way. Like it's not just, you can't pinpoint one thing, and then that thing was taught over and over and passed down and added to, and it's stipulated rules, like rules that we follow that we don't even know that we're following. Yeah.
So then do you feel like there is a sense of added responsibility or accountability just being natural, just showing up in that way, that you don't have to when your hair is, say, relaxed or weaved or whatever else?
Absolutely. I just had several experiences. I have this job where I am going into schools and I'm working as like a picture day for kids, right? And so they looked at this one kid looked at my hair, and he's a different culture. He was like Latino, and he was like, your hair is weird.
Oh my goodness.
Right? And so I was like, this is called microlocs. And so some people have their hair like this, and just teaching him like what it is, because he's never like seen that thing before. And even more so when I first started my journey, like even some of my friends, when I first started my journey, were like, those are too small of braids, your hair is gonna fall out. I'm like, they're not gonna fall out. It's okay. I've seen this, that's something that's also education for other people as well. And it's kind of, but when something's new, it's like you kind of, not that you have to take on the responsibility, because you don't have to answer any of their questions. You can choose not to. You can choose to, just Google it, research. You don't have, I don't have to be your source of information. But I do feel that if I do say something, it'll be what I know, and it will be not in a, if I feel like it's gonna come off as rude or defensive, I normally don't say anything. When it's a comment, like, or if it's just like somebody coming at me with pure ignorance, like pure, like, well, not even ignorance, because I can deal with ignorance, but when it's pure hatred, I won't do it at all. I just won't say anything at all. But I've had another child before, even Naraya came up to me and she was like, Auntie, can you do your hair like, I want your hair like, I want my hair like you. I was like, baby, you gotta get locked up for that. I don't think she was like, huh? Just not understanding, like, what does that mean? And even when a little white girl too, when I was at my job for the photography, she was like, oh my goodness, can I comb your hair? Oh my, your hair needs to be combed. I was like, you can't comb this. And she was like, oh, okay. Your hair's cool though. Just little things like that. And I've noticed that children will say things, and because they really want to know, but I wonder if the parents have the same questions too, if they've experienced it. But and I've noticed sometimes like the parents will get apprehensive, like, oh, don't say that, but it's like, if they don't ask questions, then they'll never know. So yeah, but I think my main education would be with children. A lot of people now, like where I live, kind of know what it is, like know what my hair is. And from my experience, kind of know what it is. And then actually I'll be walking down the street, oh, I like your locks. It's like a whole, I love it. Yeah.
So tell me more about then, first of all, tell me what it means to you to trust the process. And then how you got to that place, like if there's different levels, or like what trust the process looks like to you.
Okay. I know Because I Bible based. Judge nothing before it's time. Okay.
Okay.
So understanding my hair was not mature, like mature locks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I don't know how it's actually gonna look, which was scary. But at the same time, I was like, you know what? It's turning into something. So I have to wait this thing out, because I can't judge it. And my hair is immature right now. And even I'm learning how to take care of my hair. I have to just go through, and what helped too is listening to other naturals when I first began, like other people that were locking up and DIYs, and they were saying, you're gonna hate your hair every other day. And I didn't believe that. But I did.
Yeah.
And they was like, but you will not regret it. And that just always stuck with me. And I'm just like, okay. So, and everybody talks about the ugly phase with what is ugly phase? Honestly, I don't think I really, looking back on my pictures now, I was like, whoa, yeah, I didn't like the way that looked, but I was really confident. And looking at it like right now, like because it's longer, they're more full, they're more mature. Like I'm starting to like them even more, and they're starting to even like I forget that I have locks.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know that sounds weird, but it just feels like just my hair now. It doesn't feel like something foreign, something strange. It just feels like I woke up, I put water in my hair, put, oil in my hair, and now it's my hair. Like
It's a part of you.
yeah. And so it took a while. I know, but trusting that process is just not judging your hair before it's fully maturely locked and fully maturely like set in the way that you want it first. And because I feel like maybe a year in, I started to get comfortable. But yeah, before that I was just like, this is when I first locked up, I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. My hair is gonna be amazing. It's just that middle phase that you're just like, because it starts shrinking and do strange things. And I'm like, I want my length, But then I have to realize, my hair is gonna grow, and it has grown pretty fast. It's gotten thick pretty fast. So yeah. So that's my process, just of understanding not to, to be premature in saying this is not going to work out.
Not doing that conscientiously, like were you like the whole time, or is it just something you kind of like every now and then it was something that came up for you and it was a reminder, or like how was that a part of your process? That
every now and again, I would say it turned to every other day, then it was every other week, then it was every other month. And now I don't feel that way at all. I don't feel like I really ever want to go back, because one, it saves a lot of money. And two, I just feel like it's the only thing, like once I found something that works, why move from it? Why move from it? And there's so many styles that I can do. But but that was the process but I just stuck with it. What made me stick with it was just, once again, just looking at other people and understanding that this is just the process of locks. It's gonna evolve. Your hair is almost like your hair is evolving over time, and you got to love it in every stage, or find a way, because I would not wear it down a lot when it was really short. I would like just braid it into flat twist, or do a updo, do ponytails, do something, just something where I don't feel like my hair is short, you know?
Yeah.
And that kind of distracted me because I was like, oh, this is cute. You know, this is cute. It distracted me from what I wanted my hair, how I viewed my hair was looking, you know, and yeah.
Mhm. So
That had
you've been kind of the pioneer, right?
yeah.
For family members anyway. Have you had anyone other than YouTubers that you've been, researching and following or whatever for support? Like, do you have anybody in your life who's kind of been an inspiration to you, either what to do or what not to do, or
Well, I have not. I really didn't meet anybody before, but now, like, now that Janae is locked up, it's like now we can trade stories, you know? Yeah, but before that, like natural hair, to understand my natural hair, just loose natural, Lisi would be somebody I would go to a lot because she was like the first one that actually started to embrace her natural, like loose natural hair. And our whole family was like, you know, we don't know what's going on there, you know. But it kind of woke us up, honestly. And she began to like tell us about how to maintain natural hair and what products to use, and when she was in college and stuff. And I was like, huh. And so I would listen to that and like do the products, but I I wouldn't wear it out all the time. I wear it out every now and again because I guess I didn't like how short my hair was at that time. And I feel like it didn't look as good. But yeah. I also didn't know what I was doing. I also had products that didn't work on my hair. So
yeah.
so it was just, yeah, it was a lot there. But yeah, she has been somebody that I looked up to as natural. Definitely Lisi. Yeah.
So when did you actually go natural then? Loose natural.
Loose natural was in high school, and I would just use braids, wigs, sew-ins, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but high school.
Okay, now tell me what year that was, because just
20,
trying to get a sense of how long you've been loose, how long you've been natural.
I would say 20. I don't think it was my freshman year. Was it my freshman year that I went? It had to be 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, it had to be 2012. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Over a
Yeah.
decade.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So do you feel like, I mean, you kind of talked already kind of about the progression, right?
Yeah.
Not only just the progression with trusting the process, but like the progression with your hair too, and the different stages your hair went through, and kind of the different mindset stages that you went through too.
Mhm.
Um, do you have any specific goals for where you're headed with your hair on this lock journey?
Yeah, I definitely want to dye my hair.
Okay.
I definitely want to, I haven't decided if I want to grow it all the way out or if I want to keep like short, like bob, and just keep cutting it at a bob. But I don't know. I'm curious to how long it will get. So I might just grow it out. But that's really all. Just making sure like my hair is healthy, making sure I'm keeping up on like hair regimen and stuff like that, because I can get kind of like inconsistent
Mhm.
on that. So the consistency on hair regimen, because I know it's going to be it just helps your locks when you're very consistent. They will grow out more consistently when I say more consistently, like there would be part, because I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it. But when you don't, you can have problems with your locks when you're not consistent with retightening and all that type of stuff. So yeah, we don't want to lose.
So don't want to what?
We don't want to lose any locks.
Oh, right. So trying to think. Got some questions here, but you kind of already been answering them. So I guess here's a question. How long do you feel like it took you to fully commit without the back and forth? Love it, hate it, love it, hate it.
Ooh. I'm gonna have to say a year. I'm gonna have to say a year. It took me to fully, like, we're good with this. We're good with this. So yeah, probably the beginning of this year. To be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you are impacting other people. Like other people have seen you and your journey and have become more curious.
Yeah.
And have considered embarking upon a journey for themselves. Tell me about that experience.
I think it's amazing. I know Lisi always said she wanted sister locks for a long time. And she was like, I just have to get to a beautician to do it. And I was just thinking in my head, like, why do we have to get to a beautician though? And that's what made me like think about, but yeah, but she still wants to lock. She's asked me and Jeanette to help her lock, and we're like, but she was like, I don't know, I don't want to do it yet. So she's still like in the phases of like, I don't know, but it's cool. But one day, it's something that she just has to just go with, and then But seeing Janaea doing it was because I know how long she's that hair was a struggle for her, and now she's beginning to really love it and wearing it out. Like, it's just so, and to know that I was just a little bit of an influence, because I don't think I was a major, I feel like I was a little influence on, that you can actually do it yourself. Like, you don't have to, because once again, this stuff, locking up with a loctician is a lot of money, especially if your hair is thick. If it's long, it's like they want some money. Okay.
Yeah.
So just seeing her doing it, and she did it perfectly. Her grid, like, because she's very meticulous with her hair. She's very like me. I don't care as much. All my locks are different. All my locks are different sizes, and somebody was like, "Oh, your locks look so uniform," and I just busted out laughing because they're really not. But seeing her do it was like, and seeing how it looks on her, it was different, even though we're in the same journey, and seeing that she did them smaller, I was like, oh my goodness. And it looks so befitting for her too. So seeing it, how it looks on different people, and you too, like all locks, I feel like all people's locks look different. All natural hair locks look different. And just to see her embracing herself fully. And it's, once again, our hair, I've watched the journey of her frustration, like highly frustrated with her hair and how to grow it and what to do. And then to see that, locks really helped her, and her hair is growing now, and her hair is in a healthy state now. Like, that's everything. I'm like, go Nay. And then also seeing my mom, like, mom is now, well, she got on this journey of embracing her hair too, after all these years. And I'm like, Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
And I know my mom, that's been also a thing for her. She would always say that like natural hair looks unprofessional in her opinion for herself. You know, she would always say it looks unprofessional, and she would just be really insecure about her natural hair. But now, like, she's starting to get on a journey where for a little bit she was wearing it out, and she was wearing it to church and stuff, and people was looking at her. She said people was looking at her like, but to see her be bold and courageous, you know, is something I've always known her to be in different arenas, but her to take that on with her actual process with her hair is something different too. Because it's also like a affirmation for all of us, because that's our mom, you know.
Yeah.
Embrace you, you know. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to see that.
So tell me about then the process or the experience of maintaining your own locks and doing this as yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Trial and error. Okay. Doing it myself, I kind of gauge, I kind of just like feel on my locks a lot and be like, okay, is it time to retwist? After it's like feeling like it's like this much of new growth, I normally like start retwisting. And just learning how to do that. Well, interlocking, not interlock, but just learning how to do that from YouTube is something so freeing, because it's like and my skills only getting better as I keep doing it. Now I only want to do my locks. I don't want to do other people's. I just don't. It's too much work. I'm keeping up with myself. Look, but and then just learning that just almost listening to, it's like listening to your hair. Like, it needs this now. Like, okay, it feels dry. I need to put some more water in it. Oh, I need to start conditioning my hair every month now. Okay. Because at first, like, you have to, when I started my natural, like they were saying, don't use heavy moisture, don't use moisturizers, don't use heavy
Oils or whatever.
Don't use heavy oils, and even heavy shampoos and conditioners. Don't try not to use it, water it down. And then after a while, because it won't allow it to lock.
Right.
Or you'll have product buildup. So it was like, okay, gauging how much this week I put this much shampoo in my hair and it was really thick, and I'm noticing there's some buildup. Oh, now let me rewash my hair with less shampoo.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, it's once again, it's just like listening and watching and seeing what's going on with my hair. And I know that because I started growing more in my edges, I started starting new locks. I didn't add them to the actual lock. I just started them. I was like, I don't even know if that's what people do, but this is what I'm gonna do. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just looking on YouTube, just listening to my own hair, and seeing what it needs, knowing the other thing that helped, one of the tips, there were a lot of YouTube tips. One of the YouTube tips that helped for bunching was to braid it when you wash it, and keep it braided, especially when you don't want your hair to unravel. And I noticed when I first began, I was just dipping my hair in. My hair was unraveling, and I was like, oh no, stop locking.
Yeah.
But it's just the method, understanding the methods, learning the methods, and then sticking with the methods. Because at first, the other thing I would do was not wear a bonnet, and I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay,
Yes.
and it was not okay. And then I started to braid my hair at night as well. And I still do it sometimes when I feel like my hair is getting kind of bunchy. So yeah. And what I mean like about like it just helps it stretch out and elongate instead of like there'll be certain parts where it's just like not. But you can also fix that by this one tool. I forgot what it's called. It's but I don't use that tool. So
Okay.
I don't know. I'm scared. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to use the tool. I'll just wait till it gradually just goes out on its own and I'll keep braiding because it's starting to do that. It just keeps getting because the roots will get smaller and then the like how do I explain it? How is it? Like this
Mhm.
here,
Mhm.
like right there. Like I don't know how to explain it. But it'll be like bunching. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
But
So
yeah.
this process of learning and listening to your hair, do you feel
Mhm.
like that's a skill you developed, or you feel like it's something that you've always kind of done, or is this something new since your lock journey or since your natural hair journey, or whereabout would you say that that began to be a thing?
Natural hair journey.
Mhm.
Natural hair journey. Yeah. I'll a lot of times I'd look at like what am I doing wrong? Like and start like it's almost like you're a scientist mixing up stuff. Like that's what I felt like with loose natural hair, like loose natural hair. Like I was mixing up, I was doing rice water, I was doing what else? When they told you to do the inversion method and like massaging your hair, hot oil treatments and stuff like that, when they there were just different trends that was going. I don't know if it even helps. I really don't know. But I felt crazy. I felt crazy doing it. But yeah, that's what so it's been a thing that I developed over being natural because it's once again it just feels like almost scientists like just doing experiments on your hair and figuring out what this works but this doesn't work and that doesn't work. Now you can weed out what does not work, what does work, and then we keep doing what works. We may add some things that may work again, that we may add some things.
As you go.
Well, we'll see. You know what I mean? Well, we'll
Yeah.
start going on the what does work, and then over time, I'll gradually add new things to see if those work too. Um, because I want to see if this thing is actually like long-term good too. Because some things in the natural hair community aren't really long-term good. For
Yeah.
I noticed it wasn't long-term good for my hair, especially like rice water. I was just like, I don't think this is really helping like that. Like, oh yeah.
So for you as kind of a veteran, right?
Mhm.
Looking at, this, you talked about commercialism, right, of the natural hair journey, but for those who are just beginning, maybe even just beginning being loose natural, maybe not even being locked yet, do you feel like you have some wisdom for them in terms of trusting the process and figuring out what the process is for them?
Yeah. Yeah, your hair is not gonna look like other people's. I think that's the biggest thing. What is in finding what is healthy for you. What will you and your hair agree with? Like, because you may agree on a certain thing, maintaining a certain style, but your hair does not agree that this is good for me. Like, it's
Yeah.
almost like it has its own identity, it has its own personality. Like, it feels like it almost has its own personality. And so understanding what can we neutrally agree on.
Yeah.
And then loving that, because not everybody really, locks aren't for everybody. Everybody doesn't like the look of locks. Okay. If locks isn't the thing that you like, what is something that is going to be healthy for you and healthy for your hair and healthy for your mind as well, healthy for you, self-love? Because yeah. And embarking on the journey of just loving your full self, like not really caring to a certain, getting to a point where you're not comparing anymore your hair with anybody else's. I feel like a lot of it is mindset. A lot of it is confidence. And then the other part of it is just being patient. Be patient, because just like learning a person, like this is, although you have your hair all your life, it's like learning a person almost. It's like learning another person. But and understanding, like, and almost like taking a picture, like what angles would this person look good in, you know?
Yeah.
It's almost like that,
Photographer.
look. Because it's beautiful. It's honestly beautiful. And when you get to the point where you view it as a journey where it's not going to be perfect, that's another thing. Ooh, that's good. Not being perfect. Like your hair is not perfect. It's not going to ever be perfect. And what is your perspective of perfect? What is is it perfectionism? Is it just wanting your hair healthy? Because when you slide into perfectionism with your hair and wanting it to look a certain way, wanting it to be perfect, don't want, if the wind blow, you get mad, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's unrealistic.
The rain. Yeah.
It's so unrealistic. And we can take that into our natural hair and get mad and just feel like it's never going to look good. No, you have a standard that is not maintainable. Like you have a standard that is not realistic. It's just, and so breaking from the unrealistic and reset and accepting reality, and accepting not that my hair is, I'm just gonna wear my hair any type of way, but accepting what it will do and what it won't do, and what it will look like from day to day and what it won't look like from day to day, and being okay that it doesn't look like that from day to day. And then, okay, maybe it doesn't look like this today. Let me do another style with my hair. Let me try to put it up. Let me try to, let me try to do something that works with, once again, the angles. Okay, getting it in the right light. Okay. Because the hair is not the problem. It's our perception and maybe the way that we are approaching our hair. Yeah.
That's beautiful perspective. I appreciate that. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You've been dropping some gems, Shamari. Like this is beautiful. So speaking of, because you talked about evolution, it's an evolving process, right? And you've already come so far.
Yeah.
But what are your new challenges at this point in your journey moving forward?
New challenges? I don't think I have any.
Okay.
I really don't. But the main thing is just being consistent, dyeing my hair. One of these days I will dye my hair, and that's gonna be another journey.
Yeah.
I'm figuring out, researching, figuring out what box brand to use, and yeah. And I may have somebody do it. I don't know. I guess it's a trauma it may be trauma for me. It may be, that's what it is. Like, that's why I'm so gung-ho about it's don't touch my hair, it's only me. Like, because I've had so many people do stuff with my hair and it's been horrible. It's been horrible. And at least if it's bad, then I did it. Okay. Or if it's good, then I did it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm realizing, that's probably trauma. It's probably
Yeah.
probably what it is. Probably what it is.
So that might be your new.
Yeah, but the trusting people again with your hair, even knowing that they're professional is still like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a side eye for me, like, And then also just different, because I'm Christian, a lot of people in the Locs, like I'll be researching about them and they're not Christian and they dabble into things. And and they even, and so I'm just like very conscious about like, not that they would do anything to me,
Right.
but not that they would just, but I'm very cautious on just protecting my vessel. And I know like greater is he, that lives in me, that, so even if it's still not going to have an effect, but it's just that eeriness with me I don't know. I just don't want anybody touching something that's very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like hair is very vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know who I would trust.
Yeah.
Because I really don't trust. It's so sad. I'm now thinking about it now. I don't really trust anybody to touch my hair. Not even like, man, that is sad. So that could be something I could work on, doing little steps. Of who would I trust, and maybe getting over that fear of, we'll see. We'll get somebody to dye my hair. We'll just do that. It feels so uncomfortable for me to even say that, but I know it's everything I've experienced with people not knowing what to do with my hair and it looking good one day and then it falling out the next. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. But yeah, we'll do that. That's I didn't even think about that, but it just came to me. Thank you for that. Because I feel like talking it out really brings you into a revelation of like what's going on with you, like what's going on beyond what you're saying. Like, why? Because I do a lot of self-reflection now. Like, why do I think like this? Why is that a no? Why is that a yes? Why? Introspection is good to have that. Yeah.
Right. Well, and it sounds to me too like you've developed a very strong relationship with your hair.
Yeah.
Like you are in sync, and bringing in somebody else to like be a part of that is, I mean, it's like, like you said before, friendship, it's like, do they really vibe with do we have the same values? Like, how is this going to work, or is it not going to work?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
probably part of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel that like a professional still, if you've done your research and and you still don't trust a professional that has done it a lot, and with different people, I'm like, you gotta look at, there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong there. What's that? Give people a chance. Give people a chance. Yeah.
Well, and it sounds like too, you don't feel like there's a rush to make that decision or to hurry up and like figure
Oh
it out.
no.
Yeah.
No,
So,
there's no rush at all.
yeah.
I just know I wanted to do it on like a lock versary, like they call it the lock anniversary.
Yeah. Yep.
So I wanted, if I do it, because some of my hair is still like not locked. And
Mhm.
I don't use the tools like to make it force it to lock. I just let it lock on its own.
Right.
Um, because I don't know. I just didn't. So some of it in the front, there's still like 2 or 3 parts that still have the braids.
Yeah.
It'll have like locks from here, lock like to here, and then this part will be braid. Like that's interesting because I've been locked for so long. But yeah, and I guess it makes sense because it's at the top of
Right.
my hair there. And it may not have like, because I lay on this part, maybe it gets more friction compared to in the front. But yeah, or different textures in the
Right.
front than in the back.
Yes. That's
Uh,
something you noticed too. Did you notice that more so in your loose natural journey or in your lock journey about the different textures in your hair? In your hair?
Loose journey. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. My hair is way more finer in the back than in the front. In the middle, it's just all different textures. And also when I started to like there was this trend where you just do gel, like you would spray your hair and you would put gel on it and it would curl up and these pretty curls. I
Yeah.
noticed that when it was like way more looser curls in the back than in
Yeah.
the front and in the middle. I was like, I got all types of textures, but that's so
Right.
beautiful because, you know, us being Black people, we are so mixed. We don't realize that until, well, I didn't realize it. Maybe other people did until I look at like my features and look at my hair and like this is because of so many mixtures of different origins and different, and I feel like that's beautiful. I feel like that's beautiful. Yeah.
Well, we're getting to the end of time, but I have one more question for you. Who would you say you have become on this journey?
Mm. Whew. Um, I've become confident. I've become Shamari. Like I've become like even more creative, like with my hair. Like that's what I feel like. Even though it's the same, like it's just like solidified and it's I feel like it still makes me look more creative. Makes me look like more of an artist that I am. Um yeah, I've become more of me. Um I know when I look back on the wigs I used to wear, oh my gosh, I looked back and I was like, man, that doesn't even look like me. That doesn't look like me at all. And it was like, now I can see the difference between what is Shamari and what was Shamari just trying to put on to appease other people. Um, yeah. But I'm way more happier. I'm way more confident. I don't have to think about a wig being snatched off. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have to think about I can shake my hair with freedom. Like I don't have to think about like my curls are gonna mess up if I shake my hair. Like it's just I guess a freedom too. I just feel more liberated, more like just free and more like myself. More like myself. Yeah.